This is my third reflection on Simon Sinek's The Infinite Game, and this is chapters 7 through 9. Chapter 7 was all about trusting teams, and Simon Sinek talks about how good leaders sometimes suffer mission failure and bad leaders sometimes enjoy mission success. The ability to succeed is not what makes a great leader. And with that, he used the example of the Marine Corps, of how they don't always succeed together, but they work as a good unit together. So when they do fail, they fail at 100%, which is like what every like football coach preaches, basketball coach preaches, like fail at 100%. Like if you don't know something, just go hard. And with that being said, an example of a setback that I have seen in the past months, which I actually did a current event on this, was when Robinhood had to stop people from buying GameStop. Obviously, customers were very upset. People were posting all over Twitter like, I don't like Robinhood or like F Robinhood, like all this stuff. But realistically, they had to stop people from buying GameStop or they even would have gotten more trouble. And they had to do that because they didn't have enough money to pay out those people who would buy in. So they pretty much just disabled buying in and said, we're going to pay out anyone who wants to sell now, but if you don't have any shares right now, you can't get any today. And then they slowly moved into limiting shares and so on, and now people can buy shares again because they have learned that they need to like put more money or they need to make sure that they have enough money for when people buy and sell GameStop. And us and that was a setback for when Vlad Tenev, their CEO, had to come out with a statement saying of why he made no more people buy GameStop for the rest of the day. And for the next couple days after that even, he he told everyone that the company couldn't pay them out and he put the sole blame on himself rather than his employees. He wanted to show his employees that he really did care about them. So when so they would be like still proud to work at Robinhood. So they could like look up and say like we have a great leader, we have a great person, and that's why I work here. If in case anybody ever asked, because no one wants to work at a company and just be like, why do you work there? And it's just like I don't know, and then the company's in a bad social media situation. But now currently Vlad's coming back from that setback, or I should say Robinhood's coming back from that setback by they had a commercial on Super Bowl Sunday that's still airing, and they do a YouTube show once a week where they interview a customer with questions or even a worker that wants to explain something. And that's how they're coming back from what happened. And in chapter 8, Simon Sinek talks about ethical fading. And with this, I decided to go more on how Simon Sinek brought up lazy leadership because I feel like this is a leadership that you see a lot of in the workforce, to be honest, especially with entry level jobs or factory jobs or some jobs like that. I feel like you see a lot of lazy leadership. And lazy leadership is building processes for people rather than supporting their people. And I'll give an example of a job that I had where there was lazy leadership. At the time when I first got the job, I couldn't really tell there was lazy leadership yet. Like I was too new to the job to really know what was going on. Like I just knew I was getting paid and I was fine with that. But little did I know, like there were people there for like a few months that were never really shown appreciation due by the bosses and stuff, and they would whine and complain. I know a few months doesn't sound like a lot of time, but little did I know that like there weren't a lot of employees there that worked there for years. And I was always wondering like there had to be a reason why. And And then I found out that the the bosses pretty much did not care about their employees, and that they pretty much just like had them doing a process, and they didn't like talk to them and make their job more personable. They just used them for just like work, and that's why their turnover rate was so high, because they just looked at it like, oh, anyone can do this job, so it doesn't matter. But really, they should have been looking at it like, we love our employees. We want to keep showing that we love our employees. So we'll like give them gift baskets, help them out in times of need and stuff like that. And that's really what it should have been about. But instead, that company chose not to go that route and to just go the route of, we'll keep our turnover rate high because anyone can do this. And finally, in probably my favorite chapter of the book, chapter 9, which was Worthy Rival, Simon Sinek talks about the concept of like a worthy rival and like what that means to everybody. A worthy rival is someone that you don't hate, but they help point out your weaknesses for you. Like in basketball, like, you know, if you're if you see like when LeBron James and Kobe Bryant were going up against each other, like those were two worthy rivals. Like they made each other better. Like LeBron's defense was all over Kobe, and then Kobe would come back with his competitiveness and just like play defense as hard as he could against LeBron. And he would like show how tough he could be too, and that's what a worthy rival really is. And an example I'll give when like I was in a worthy rival situation, actually at a job. It was when I worked at Black Wolf Run for a summer, and I was I was at the time I was at the Meadows course, but there's also the Rivers course, right? So, and like these golf people pretty much come up with ratings about how nice your course is every year, which is kind of cool, but at the same time it's kind of, I don't understand how they actually come out with that. But whoever, pretty much what Kohler did was like, by the end, as long as like your course had a good rating, they brought in food trucks for the whole crew, and it was just like exciting, like cool. It was like a free day pretty much that day, and we would get paid. But they did this thing, yeah, where whoever, like, we would work to get like the better rating, and you would see people become so much more motivated than what they usually were. Like some people would only work from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then like all of a sudden you'd see some people who would usually leave after like first job stay like all day because they want really wanted the course to be like perfect for everybody. Like you'd see people come back from like the first job that they would usually do, and then they would decide, hey, I'm gonna pick up a string trimmer. I saw a few long patches of grass that I want to get. And I thought that was always really cool because it motivated the workers. And, the overall outcome of this is that it kept us working hard and it gave us a reward in the end. And my favorite concept from these three chapters was Worthy Rival. And that's pretty much because having a worthy rival is important for everyone, I believe. I believe without a worthy rival, you're going to become lazy. And I mean, maybe not everyone becomes lazy, but I feel like most people just become too lazy and then they just don't feel like they don't care anymore. Like they just want to live their life, whatever. And I think in business, especially, having a worthy rival can really keep you motivated. And it can keep you distracted from other things that may be going bad in your life per se or anything like that. Like if you're doing sales, like the other people, like your competitors are all your worthy rivals if you really think about it. And But you always find that one guy who's gonna like just keep beating you to the punch, and then he's gonna be your worthy rival, and then it's gonna be like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's really why I love this concept. And it's mainly because you're competing against these other companies to make sales to the best of your ability. And overall, this is my reflection on chapters 7 through 9 of Simon Sinek's The Infinite Game. Thank you.